Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more Hearthstone arena action. It's time to play Shaman, I think. Feels like it's been a while. Feels like I need to lower my volume. And we're going to start things off with a Sunwalker. Now, I know a lot of people are telling me about Ancestral Spirit, but I'm not going to take it over something as good as a Sunwalker. And I'm going to grab a Boulder Festoga pretty happily as well, getting some pretty good 6-drops to start things off. Now, my friend Dan, in our last dual commentary video, said something really interesting. He said that usually when you're having trouble surviving in the early game, it's not because of a lack of 3-drops, it's a lack of 2-drops. So definitely, even something as stupid as the Bloodfen Raptor is nice to have in your decks to make sure that you can survive the early game. With that said, I am going to take Shattered Sun Cleric over the Raptor just because right now, early in the draft, it is such a strong card. Okay, spell damage is really good for Shamans with Forked Lightning, Lightning Storm, and Lightning Bolt. It's just really good to have some of that, but I'm not going to take it over Golem because that's such a strong 3-drop. This pack sucks. I would happily take the Panda here or a Geomancer. I don't know what to do here. I guess this card is such trash, I'll take the stupid Monkey, but man, that's annoying. Alright, do I take another Sunwalker? That seems to be a bit greedy with this many 6-drops. Let's take the Sun Fury Protector here for some more taunt and an early play. Okay, Spellbreaker's fine, but Shamans have Earth Shock, which I'll hope to pick up later, so I'm going to take Fen Creeper because that's such a good 5-drop. Here, I could take this for some removal, but Shamans have a lot of it, so I don't want to take that here. It's a good card, though. I feel like I probably should take it, but I'm going to take the Gnomish Adventure for some card draw. I don't want a War Golem. I've already got like a lot of endgame here, and I don't want this mediocre Taunter, so second Golem it is. Okay. Don't like Doomsayer, don't like the Pirate, so we'll take the Thasus. But I wish that were one of the Shaman legendaries instead, the Doomhammer or Earth Elemental. God, this is like the 4th one of these that I think I've seen. I hate this card so much. Well, Dust Devil I don't really consider playable, so I'm going to take a River Crocolisk to have a 2-drop. I think it's okay to take pretty much every Fire Elemental that you see. Alright, well, I passed on the first Spellbreaker. I'm getting a bit of a heavy curve, so I don't want to take the Darkscale Healer here. Let's take a second Spellbreaker here since I passed on the first one. Oh, God. Jesus. Well, people have been telling me to try Ancestral Healing because you can give a minion taunt, and what that does is it lets you attack it even if it was hiding behind an enemy taunter. But, jeez. Guess I'll take another Spellbreaker, but just not be happy about it. Oh my god, this is awful. Well, this is looking bad. Okay, Hex. I haven't gotten any removal yet, so that's nice to have. I don't want a War Golem. There's too much endgame already, and the Ancestral Healing still seems stupid. So I'll take the Acolyte. Here, Forked Lightning. Thank goodness I get some removal. Do I take another Forked Lightning? God, I want to, but it is sometimes going to be dead in your hand. Let's take a Stormwind Knight. That's such a good 4-drop, and good 4-drops win games. Questing Adventure, no thanks. I mean, my deck's too high curve for this to be great. I'll take a Totem here for some card draw potential. Man, I need, like, frickin' 2-drops real bad. Wolf Rider, not quite it. So I guess we'll take the Abusive Sergeant and just grumble about it. I'm tempted to take Frost Shock just because I'm so low on removal. The Unbent Elemental is obviously great, but like I have so many 3-drops already. I just don't want any more. So yeah, I guess Frost Shock it is. I wish that were Earth Shock though. This is perfect. This is exactly what I needed. It'll help me slow down my opponents if they're fast. This helps close games out, but this gives me buffs, and I don't really have any buffs yet, so we'll take it, other than the Shattered Sun Cleric. Get my spell damage here, which is nice. Oh my gosh. I don't want to take another 3-drop. I guess we'll take the Abomination, because sometimes that'll slow things down enough. What is with the 3-drops? Oh, jeez. Come on, deck. Work with me here. Oh, it's not looking good. Yeti. I do need some more 4-drops, though. That's good. And Wind Fury. I mean, I do have some big creatures. My curve is really high. God, 8 cards or 5 or above. I don't want to take any more. I guess we'll try the Wind Fury thing and see how that goes for me. And I could either take a Sunwalker and have a crazy high curve, or the Arcane Golem for some finishing. I mean, it's a 3-mana card, and I didn't want any more of those, but it's not really a 3-mana card because you're never really going to play it on turn 3. Oh my god, that was horrifically bad. So we didn't see any Lightning Bolts, didn't see any Rock Fighter weapons. We got 1 Hex. I had a chance for 2 Forked Lightnings, but Forked Lightning is not the one you want to double up on. You want to double up on Hexes, Lightning Bolts, and Rock Fighter weapons. One of the Shaman's major strengths is that for 1 mana, they have 2 different spells to kill a 3 toughness creature, but I didn't see either of those, so that's great. Kind of like the Paladin draft I did recently that had no True Silver Champions, no Hammer of Wrath, and no Consecration, which is great. Okay, so here we're seeing all of our 6 drops. Hopefully then the Mulligan will give us something lower. Not that there is much. I kind of actually do wish I had taken, like, that Bloodfen Raptor over Shattered Sun Cleric, given how things had ended. Okay, well, against a Hunter, I can actually play the Abusive Sergeant on turn 1, which is nice. Hopefully that'll trade for a 2-drop of some sort. If not, I'll use the Stormforged Axe to kill something with the help of the Abusive Sergeant. Either way, it should be good. Wow, I'm actually, like, curving out. You wouldn't even know. And that my dex curve is super high. With this draw, now, Wind Fury, not really useful yet. I'm not going to put it on this guy and swing twice or anything. That's just stupid. I'm going to save it for the end game. I will almost guarantee draw into some expensive drops, because I had, like, what is it? Over a fourth of my deck is really expensive stuff. So it shouldn't be that big of a problem to get expensive things. Okay, we're going to go ahead and Stormforged Axe and just use the tick of that plus the Abusive Sergeant to kill off his minion. Don't really mind that. I mean, I still have 2 charges on this thing. And the Overload isn't really that relevant next turn simply because I could have coined as an Omission Venture, but I just wanted to play the Geomancer anyway. Anyway, Forked Lightning's awful right now. Let's make a totem. He's okay. Change of plans. You know, it occurs to me, I could have just played the Geomancer and then coined out the Forked Lightning without having to fish for a spell damage totem. That might have been the more precise play. Well, anyway, next turn I'm only going to have 2 mana. That's just going to be enough to make a Kobold Geomancer. Luckily, my opponent is a slow hand as well. He didn't have a 4-drop here. He just has a secret, which is just fine by me. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of a risk here. I'm going to actually attack his face. Now, the reason I'm attacking his face is I'm checking for Explosive Trap and Misdirection. And look at that. So basically, I waste his Explosive Trap. And do I make a totem or do I make a Geomancer? I'm actually going to make a totem. Don't really see much of a reason to throw that Geomancer out there. Let's start the totem party going here. Taunt's kind of nice. It might actually let the Mana-Tide totem survive for more than a turn. Nope, Charging Rhino puts those plans to rest. Okay. Well, I think this is the time to drop a Darkscale Healer and just pray that my opponent doesn't have Deadly Shot. Or, of course, any kind of a beast, because the beast could charge in and kill this. Let's say he plays a Savannah Highmane, I pretty much just lose the game. Or even like a Stranglethorn Tiger would be really awful bad, awful bad. Oh my god, he actually has a Savannah fucking Highmane. Oh my god. Well, I just can't win now. There's just no way. I can kill this with my axe, but then, like, you know, the 2 hyenas pop. What? Why is this so terrible? Oh my god, this is unbelievable. Well, let's do this. Make a totem. And the Geomancer just sort of dies. Oh my god, the game was so stupid. I just had like a slow start. Maybe I shouldn't have Forked Lightning, or maybe I should have put the Geomancer down. But the Geomancer would have just died to the Rhino. I don't know. I think I just had a really slow start, and my opponent didn't have a fast start either, but he had like that good 3-drop, the Razorfin Hunter. He had a 2-3 on turn 2, so nothing died to my axe. I don't know, I guess I just couldn't quite bring it home here. And then he had this and that. Oh my god, that's terrible. So he's not even getting a card off of this, he's just charging with it. And using the hyenas to kill off my Yeti, and then the Rhino is still sticking around. Oh my god. Well, we gotta do what we gotta do here, folks. What we must do is cleanse the Sunwell. Alright, so this is on the field, so any beast he plays draws him cards. Technically, I'm okay on cards. Nope, there's Unleash the Hounds for 2 cards. Wow, what a bad way to start this run. Well, I was going to say, Shaman is the only class with which I've never gotten below 4 wins, but this might be the run where that happens, because, man, this guy drafted a lot of beasts, and I did not see a Forked Light, or any Lightning Storms. I have no outs to this board. It's over. That was really depressing. And so, Wind Fury, those of you talking about how, you know, I should play this card more, you can see why cards like this are bad. It's just sat dead in my hand the entire game. And, you know, maybe it's like awesome when you can put it on a Boulder Fist Ogre, but maybe it just sits in your hand dead the entire game, and that's why I'm not a fan of cards like that. So, that was an encouraging start. Let's go ahead and keep on trucking here. My goal, given how I felt about this draft being not that great, and given how terribly that game went, even though my opponent's deck wasn't that good, he just smashed me, I'm just going to be happy to get to 4 wins and continue my trend of not going below 4 wins with Shaman. Shaman's such a weird class for me. My first, like, I don't know, 11 runs or so? Yeah, my first 11 runs, I got to 9 wins 9 times out of 11. And then for like the next 8 run, it was all between 4 and 6. And then I had a couple of good runs with it again. So technically, it like has never been a bad class for me. But it just feels kind of underwhelming because after such a hot opening with it, I started to suck. Well, not suck, I just started to play, like, okay. Anyway, this is a fine hand because I am second. I can make, like, maybe the Acolyte on turn 2 with the coin, and then the Shattered Sun Cleric on turn 3. Oh, please don't play stuff. Thank you. Raid Leader, well, I'm just getting... Well, this deck does have a lot of 3-drops, so this is not surprising that my curve is just biting my ass. My opponent, luckily, has a really slow opener here. So I could make the Monkey, but really there's no point. Let's just make the Acolyte. I needed a Hex for that high main. And I needed the high main not to have charge from a Stampeding Rhino that I couldn't... Or a Charging Rhino that I couldn't kill. And then maybe I could have won that game. She's going to draw some cards. Well, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm going to make a little bit of a non-committal move here. I'm actually going to play the Raid Leader. So, Shattered Sun Cleric, I could have buffed the Acolyte of Pain's attack as well. This way I'm buffing the attack, but I'm hanging on to the Shattered Sun Cleric in case I want to use it later for something better. Acolyte's nice here. It's stopping a lot of early game mass removal. Not stopping, but making a lot of early game mass removal less tempting, like Arcane Explosion and Cone of Cold. She wouldn't really want me drawing cards off of it. And then I can still play Shattered Sun Cleric. Oh, she's going to play Arcane Explosion anyway, giving me a card. That'll let her kill off the Raid Leader. But she'd want to card down, because she spent a card to kill a card, but my creature, you know, just drew me a card there. Okay, we're going to go ahead and play the Yeti, because good 4-drops win games. Still holding on to this Shattered Sun Cleric. Might be better used on the Yeti. Let's say she plays like a 5/5 of some kind. Well, the only one 5/5 I can think of is a Stranglethorn Tiger, which is stealth. But you get the idea. I might need it. And we have Fen Creeper next turn and then Boulder Fist Ogre after that. So a pretty good creature curve here, and she's not really doing effective interference. Now, she could Fireball the Yeti. That would be a good start. But then I can play the Fen Creeper, and now she's got one less Fireball that will work. She's actually going to do that. Ah, even better than the Fen Creeper is the move I'm about to make, which is kill this and heal. And now she can't ping off my Yeti, which seems to be what she was probably thinking she could do. And I could have played a Fen Creeper, hid the 4/1, or sorry, my Chillwind Yeti, the 4/5, behind a 3/6, which would have killed her Stormpike Commando. But I didn't want to leave things to chance. I just like the idea of clearing out the board. Dropping another Chillwind Yeti. Now I've got back-to-back 6-drops. So this is really like the ideal place to be, is where you're in the lead, and you get to play 6-drops. Like going into my turn, I'm ahead on the board. I can kill everything she already has, and then that means my ability to drop 6-drops is just pony whipping balls ridiculous. Okay, so lots of good options here. I'm not gonna think too much. Let's just Fire Elemental, kill off that Worgen. We'll kill the Geomancer like this. Now, if you're wondering, Boris, why are you doing that? Well, actually, hang on. So if I kill the Geomancer with my 4/5, these two will both die to a Flame Strike. But if I kill it like this, the Yeti will just die to being pinged off. But then I have 2 5 toughness creatures, so after she Flame Strikes, they'll both be at 1 health, and she'll have the ability to pick off one of them, but not the other. Okay, so I'm going to play around Flame Strike. I'm going to drop the Yeti down, essentially sacrifice it to the hero ability. But this way, she cannot clear my board with a Flame Strike. One of my creatures is guaranteed to survive. So next turn, probably Boulder Fist Ogre, but it's possible that I will Fen Creep and then make an Axe. Okay, she's not going to Flame Strike. She's going to spend over half of her mana polymorphing. So now she's kind of in trouble because she can ping off the Yeti, but then this thing isn't allowed to attack, because if it does, the sheep will just finish it off. The sheep's actually kind of relevant here. A Fireball would have been a lot better for her in that case. She could also, of course, keep this thing stealthed and wait for better times, or she could throw it away into my... No, she's going to let me actually get the kill with the sheep. That's interesting. I don't know if I would have made that choice. I could also play Fen Creeper, Stormforged Axe, and kill that. Well, I think that's a reasonable move. I mean, might as well put the Axe in play while I've got the chance. And then, you know, she can, of course, ping off the sheep if she wants to, but then that's committing a quarter of her mana for the turn. Plus, Flame Strike's awful here. She can't kill this with Flame Strike or this. So I hope she's choking on all the Flame Strikes. Flame Strikes and Alarmabots. These are all the cards that I want her to have. Well, I'm in good shape. She's holding 6 cards, so am I, but I also have 3 creatures on the board and a weapon. So, like, I mean, the amount of card advantage I have so far is staggering. She had a bit of a slow start, so did I, but then with my Acolyte giving me 2 cards, it was just really good. Another Worgen Infiltrator. Man, I am lucky she didn't have those on the first couple of turns. Like, she played nothing on turn 2, so it seems like she may have just had a bad draw. So she's got the ping for the sheep, and she puts a secret out there. If it's Vaporized, it'll get to kill a really good creature of mine, which is sad. But let's go ahead and check first. Well, let's kill this thing first. Check for Mirror Entity before you check for Vaporize. Let's give her the crappiest thing I got. It's not Mirror Entity. Okay, I'm going to check with the Fen Creeper then for Vaporize. Please be Ice Armor. It is! Ice Barrier, perfect. That is lovely, lovely, lovely. So I got to have my cake and eat it. I checked for Mirror Entity. I got 2 extra damage through, and I get to play Boulder for Stoker. Now she can kill the Fen Creeper and the Darkscale Healer with the Flame Strike, but not the Ogre. And her life total is getting a little bit perilous. Although if she had Flame Strike, it'd be good for her, because she'd be down to 3 cards to my, like, 6, but my cards are kind of crappy. They're all 3-drops, so she could actually win at that point. She has a Blizzard, which is arguably more annoying than Flame Strike, because it stops me from attacking with my Ogre, so I can't actually get damage through. Whereas if she had Flame Struck, she would have killed these things, but then I could have still gotten damage through with my Ogre. Maybe I'll draw one of my 2 Spell Breakers? Huh? Nope. And, well, let's just play the Golem and make a Totem. And I'm actually going to stop there because I don't... Well, hang on. I'm going to make a strategic move here. We're going to buff that Ogre. So the reason I'm doing that is that way if she has a Flame Strike, she cannot finish off the Ogre. The Ogre's still vulnerable to Polymorph and Fireball, but if that's it, that means the rest of my stuff's living. Or most of the rest of my stuff, which is good. So, no Flame Strike. She's pinging off my Fen Creeper. That's good. I mean, I could have survived Flame Strike with this Ogre, but it's nice to not have all the rest of my creatures die, you know. And I still have a Hex for insurance, which is kind of nice. Silencing my totem is a dick move, brah, because now I can't make a new totem with my hero ability. Unless I can find a way to give this an attack bonus and attack with it in Suicide, I can't actually do anything. Okay, do I win? What is this? 7, 11, plus 5 is 16. Yeah, I actually just win, so we're not even going to play any more cards. Good old Stormforged Axe. Okay, well, that was a lot better than the game against the Hunter, so maybe this deck has some juice to it after all. I guess there's only one way to find out, and that is to come back and watch the rest of the games, which are going to be posted in an upcoming video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and or subscribe, and I'll see you again soon with the rest of the games. Till then.